Kelly from Patika Kelly and Play Learn Talk, and today's tutorial is going to be about creating a magic flashlight game. We're actually going to learn how to make 3 different variations, and we're going to be using this magic flashlight set that you can find on my TeacherPayTeachers store. Just type in magic flashlight, Valentine hearts, or look in the description below this video. So this set comes with 3 different types of magic flashlights and also a variety of navigation buttons that are done for you to save you time. All right. So like I said, we're going to create 3 different types of games today. I'm going to walk you through a preview of all of them before we go into the workstation, and this should take no more than 20 minutes to do everything, I'm hoping. So make sure you have that amount of time set aside or save this video for when you do have that time. So the first version we're going to learn how to make is the one with a black background, all right? So you're probably very familiar with this and want to know how to make it if you're a new creator. If you create boom cards, this is definitely something to learn. It's super fun and engaging for students. So we're going to learn how to make that, and we're going to learn how to incorporate a way to select an answer right on the page, all right? We're going to be creating inflow magic, so that's how all these games are going to be made today. So here's the first variation. You notice when I move my flashlight around, this rectangle pink box at the bottom has our answers. We can select them if we wanted to right now, but we're going to explore a little bit more. So this image is the first image in the kit, and it is actually a flashlight that is layered on top of a black background. And if you were to pull the background all the way across, you'll see that it reveals that we actually have another layer underneath. So we have these other cupcakes that are underneath, and then this image is layered on top. All right? So the student would simply move it around. Now, if we wanted them to select a correct answer, we have to create this image in Caption Pick. So I will show you how to do that, as well as how to make these round navigation buttons, all right? So we've also done this as a navigation link right here. You notice I don't have anything on the right-hand side. Our answer is going to serve as our navigation button. If I select the incorrect answer, it's simply going to say whoops, and then our correct answer is going to take us on to the next activity. All right, so here's our next one. The next game variation will include a flashlight with a transparent light, and this light is going to serve as a way to highlight something that we want to bring attention to in our game. So you notice I can move this and it highlights different images, okay? So this is actually layered on the topmost layer, and it's simply going to highlight each object. Now we have our instruction. Shine your flashlight on the biggest cupcake. So here's our biggest cupcake, all right? Then click on the cupcake to see if it's the right one. So when students hover their flashlight over it and then click, they're not going to have anything to click here, so they're going to keep going through their choices. And finally, they're going to come on the biggest cupcake, and we're going to click right here, and that'll take us on to the next page as well. Here is our last variation. So we're going to use a solid flashlight, and this kind of flashlight helps us actually reveal a hidden message. This is another really cool way to use a flashlight. So here we have a typable text box, and we have a navigation button that's actually been coded to have conditional linking, and then we have a hidden message within this tall door shape. All right, so we're going to move our flashlight, and when we let go of it, we see that we have letters revealed. Okay, so our letters are layered on the topmost layer. The flashlight is layered on the bottommost layer. Now, when I mentioned conditional linking, that means if the answer that's written in the typable box, right, is incorrect, it will not allow the student on to the next page. So we're going to learn how to do that. So if they simply found the first letter I and typed it in, and then hit enter, it's going to say whoops and give that visual incorrect feedback. All right, but once they have the correct answer, let's see, let me move this down here, then it'll let them go on, just like that. All right, so before you go, we're going to learn how to layer text perfectly on top of an image. So we're going to do this using Caption Pick, and we're going to use it with the navigation buttons in the kit. So I have provided one blank heart, and this is so that if you don't like this font on top, you can always use your own font, or maybe you can layer a picture on top of this image, okay? So we're going to learn how to layer text or an image on top of another image that we're going to make into our navigation button. All right, so that is that. So let's go ahead and go into our workstation. We are going to, let's see, go back through. Oh, there's some freezing going on here. Okay, so let's go into our first thing here. So here is what the inside of my workstation looks like. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put out our cupcakes. All right, so we're going to grab an image. I've already preloaded all of my images. and I'm going to size it down to the size that I want. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to put 3 cupcakes in here, okay? So I'm going to click on the image on this little tab, and then I'm going to use a keyboard shortcut, Command-C, Command-V to duplicate it. Now, if that doesn't work, you can simply make sure the image is highlighted with that blue highlight and then hit duplicate, okay? So we're going to set out our 3 cupcakes. They're the bottommost layer. They do not need to be draggable. They can just be like this. I'll point out we do need to make sure we have gone up to details and hit flow magic so that you can do all the things we're going to do today. All right, so our next thing that we need to do is we need to create our caption pick answer area, this one right here. Okay, we're going to do that on a separate page. So we're just going to add a new card. We're going to pull out caption pick, okay, and then put it in the center of the page. We're going to delete everything inside of it, and then we're going to stretch it out to whatever size we want for our game. We're going to come down to background color, and I'm going to make it a hot pink color, okay? And then I'm going to grab a text, and I'm going to put my instructions. So I'm just going to put instructions. Okay, so whatever your instructions are, you're going to click on the tab, do Command-C, and then click inside of this caption pick and do Command-V. All right, you can get rid of this one just by deleting it. And now you can move this anywhere you want within your hot pink little table here, okay? You know it's inside because when you move it, it moves along with it, okay? So now we want to go ahead and put in our answers, right? So we want to have them as circles. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out another caption pick, and we're going to delete everything inside again. So we can also hit delete there. We're going to click on the empty container, come over to border, and where it says radius, we're going to change it to 100. Changes it to a circle right now, okay? We're going to size it down. Let me fix the sizing on this text here. You notice how the little dots actually went outside of the area. That's why I'm fixing it. And I'll go ahead and change my font and everything right now and center my text. All right, so now we're ready to put this image inside. Now we can give it a background color. Let's give it this background color, okay? And we want to click on that little tab, Command-C, we can delete it right now, and then click inside of this caption pick again, Command-V, and then we can place it anywhere that we want, all right? We're going to click again inside of the container, Command-V, Command-V, Command-V. We want to have a field of 4 answers, all right? So we're going to set out our circles, oops, like this. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, you know why? Because I did 2 of them at once, so, oh no, wait. Huh, you guys, let's see. I must be holding something. Put that one there. Let's delete it. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to click on it again. So we'll do a little troubleshooting. So we're going to put this here. Okay, we're going to click on it again, put it in, and click on it again, put it in. Command-V. All right. So the alignment looks okay. All right, so I want to do a little adjustments on it though. So in case you are not familiar how to do that, we're going to use the alignment tool. So you're going to click on the first one if you like the position, and then click on the rest of them. We're going to align them horizontally by hitting horizontal under the alignment tab, okay? And then I'm going to space them out. So just space them out using that little tab. It's a little finicky sometimes. All right, we'll move this over here. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to put in our answer choices. All right, so we are going to select the one that we want to be correct. Let's make it this one. We're going to click on that image and then come up to answer options and hit correct. And we're going to link it to next. All right, and then we're going to click on all 3 of the remaining circles and hit wrong, and nothing is linking, okay, not at all. All right, so now we need to go ahead and put in our actual answer options. And I'm grabbing a separate text box because I want to really layer it in the center of the circle. Okay, so let's do some number options. So I'm going to double click on this and make sure it's centered. I'm going to change it to the font that I want, and that looks good like that. Okay, so I'm going to click on the little tab, Command-C, click inside of my container, not on the circle, the container, and Command-V. Okay, and then I can move it down right to the center of the circle. All right, so I'm going to repeat that process. Move it here, Repeat the process again. Okay. And now we can repeat the same alignment process. So click on the numbers that you have there or whatever you have, and then we're going to do horizontal alignment. Okay. And I'm going to tap that over a little bit. Let's say our answer is 3. That is the correct answer. Let's make this one 5 and this one 0 and this one 1. Okay, so now our whole entire image can move as one piece. All right, I'm going to go ahead and change this. So how many cupcakes are there? All right, we'll change it to the actual instruction. All right, so you see it's too big, so I want to double click everything, and then I'm going to resize everything at one time. So I'll make it size 20, and then I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Okay, and make sure it's centered within. All right, so this image is going to be draggable, but we're not going to add it yet. All right, so what we need to add right now is we need to add our magic flashlight background. So we're going to come over to image, pull an image out, and then we are going to grab our magic flashlight background. So there it is. All right. So we're just going to size it out until it seems to fit. This might take a little bit of work on your part, just of previewing it or figuring out what size you want the light to be. I think that the size that is best is going to be, I think it's 1650. Let's see, I put it over here. 1650 by 1200. So you can adjust the size here. So I'll do 1650 by 1200. And then we need to make this item draggable. Okay, that's very important. If you don't make it draggable, nothing's going to work. Okay, so now we come over to the page that we created our caption pick in, and we're going to click on the tab here, Command C, and then we're going to come over to this page. Oh, actually, let's go back. We're going to make this draggable right now. Okay, so we're going to click on the tab here, Command C, and we're going to click on this image, Command V. All right, so now everything should work the way we want. We should be able to move this around the page, and our answer key disappears when we're moving it, but when we let go, it pops up. And each of them are highlighted as a circle. And here's our wrong answer, wrong answer, wrong answer, correct answer, precedes us on to the next page. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and do this one right here. So here is what everything looks like. This has a lot of layering going on. So the first thing that we're going to do is actually put our cupcakes out here. So here's our blank page. We're going to pull out an image, and we're going to grab that cupcake. We're going to size it down. Okay, like that. We're going to do Command C, Command V, make this one a different size. Let's put this one, yeah, we'll put this one here. And then Command C, Command V, and we're going to make this one really large. Okay. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to put a black object over the top of it. Okay. Now I simply did this to make things look a little bit darker, so I'm going to stretch it out across my screen, and then I'm going to change the color to black, and I'm going to change the transparency by going to Item and then reducing it down to make it more transparent. Okay, so let's go back over here and see what else we have. So you'll notice that we have everything else is layered on top of this black image. The black image is not draggable though, it's just things are layered on top of it. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is grab a caption pick and make this button right here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and grab out our caption pick and delete everything inside. And then we're going to go over to border, change the radius to 100. All right, and we will simply make it fit the space of that large cupcake. All right. Okay, and then we're going to link it to next, and we can select it as correct. All right, so the next thing we need is our instructions, and the last part is going to be our flashlight. So let's go ahead and pull out a text box like this. I'm going to delete everything inside, and I'm going to simply fill it with a color. Okay, so background color, let's make it that hot pink color. We're going to stretch it across, and then we're going to duplicate it so that we have a matching image right below. So we're also creating a space for our flashlight to go. Now I want to move this cupcake over a little bit, but I'm going to have to slide this background over to do it because it's on the bottommost layer. All right, so I'm going to slide it back over. And now I have my images here to work with. Now I need to pull out some text. Okay, So I'm going to, for the sake of time, I'm not going to retype these. I'm just going to grab them from the other page. So I'm going to move this over here. Okay, so I'm going to grab the text here. And, oops, let's see. Okay, so it may not be copying. Oh, because it's this whole image, actually. Okay, so I'll just double click in here and type in here. So shine your flashlight on the biggest cupcake. We're not going to change the font. And this bottom one will be, then click on the cupcake to see if it is correct. Okay, so I'm going to stretch this out a little bit more so that everything fits. And we'll make sure this one matches here. And I like to center all of my text. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. All right, so now we have everything that we need so far. All we are missing is our flashlight, okay, which is this image here. So we're going to go ahead and grab at our image, and we want to find the flashlight that has the transparent light, okay? So it's this one. So when you first pull it out, it's going to be set at a diagonal, so you want to change the rotation of it. So we're going to come over to size and rotate and hit rotation. We're going to push up on the up arrow, and I'm going to have it be at, it looks like 44 rotation. And I'm going to put it a little bit off the page. Let's see, I'm going to size it down too because it's a little too big. Okay, and I'm going to put it here. So once again, I think I'm going to have to move that cupcake, all right? And you may have to do this with yours too. So as you go, you readjust. That's no problem. Okay. Let's make this one really tiny. And then we'll slide this one back over. So as you put more things on your page, it's obviously going to be harder to move things around, okay? So sometimes I do recommend adding things on additional pages and then copying them in with a shortcut. So this looks good like that, okay? We have our directions are visible, and we have our flashlight in a centered area in our cupcakes here. This is our navigation button. The only thing left is to make this draggable. All right, so let's go ahead and preview that one. So we're able to move it around and let go of it. Nothing clicking here, nothing clicking here. And here, oh no, okay, we can't click it. So something must have happened. So let's see what has happened here. Oh, okay, so what happened here is that I can't click on the navigation because my magic flashlight is covering it. So that navigation button is stuck in the bottom layer, all right? So I'm really glad this happened to point it out to you. So what we're gonna do is we're going to make our navigation button also draggable, all right? Otherwise, we cannot have a clickable button there, okay? So we're simply going to click on the tab here, and we're gonna go to Z order and hit front. Okay, now we'll preview it again. So when we bring our flashlight over, we can now, we cannot click on it. Oh, because I didn't make it draggable. Okay guys, thanks for your patience. So we're gonna make it draggable. So let's make sure it is also draggable, okay? And let's get rid of that border so that the students don't know that's the one that has it. Okay, let's go ahead and preview it again. All right, so we can't see any circle border. And now we can click on it. All right, so that's how you do it. All right, let's do our last variation. So here we have a secret code or a hidden message. And what we need for this one is to create our block of color first, all right? So we're going to pull out a text box, delete the text from within, and then we're going to make a shape. All right, now whatever color your shape is, that is also going to be the color of your font. All right, so we're going to go and change it to this hot pink color. And you notice over here it says this color is number E00365. I'm going to copy that with my mouse and do Command C. Okay, and then when I pull out my text, I'm actually going to match it to that identical color. So we're going to pull out another text, and we want it to be in a column shape. So make sure that you have enough space for one letter each. All right, and we're going to delete everything inside and go ahead and do I, double space, L, space, and so on, right? So you're just going to space everything out. I like to do 2 spaces in between each word. All right, And let's go ahead and resize that as well. So we're going to change the font and change the size. You'll have to play around with this to see what works for yours. That one looks good. Okay, so we're going to bring it over here, and now we need to change the font color. Okay, so we need to highlight the text like this, and we're going to come over to this area where it says colors. We're going to go to more colors, and then where it says selected color, we're going to go to this little area here that you can type in and do Command V. Okay, and that'll show us the selected color, and hit OK. So now it's going to disappear, but it is actually there. Now this needs to be a draggable item because our flashlight is going to go underneath it. Okay, so we'll come back to that in a moment. Our next aspect, we need to go ahead and put in our text box and find the secret message. So for sake of time, I'm going to grab this here and just put it on the page. I guess I can't do that. So let's see. I don't know why that didn't work. Let's see. No, I guess I can't do that. Usually that works. I don't know why that's not working right now. Oops, we're going to put in type the secret message. Okay. All right, so we're going to double click it, center it, change the font to whatever font you're using it, and then size it down, stretch out the little blue area. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and grab a text box where it says fill in the blank, and we're going to stretch that out to whatever size that we want. All right, we're going to move things up and stretch this out. Okay, and we're going to double click to go inside. So I'm going to change the font to match the font that is the theme of everything. I'm going to put it to open response, which means it'll be graded by the teacher, but you don't have to do that. Depends on what you're making. All right. And then font size, I'm going to make this font size 50. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put in our message. I love you is the message, and when we hit submit, that has to be the answer. All right. Actually, I'm sorry, we're not doing open response. We're doing I love you as the answer. All right, so that is that. That's what it looks like. And if you wanted to change the coloring of it, you could come over to background color and change all those details. All right, so now we need to put in our navigation button. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to grab out an image, and we're going to find the navigation button for enter, and we're going to size that one down. And this is going to be what has our conditional linking. Okay, so the enter button is going to serve as our next button. So we're going to link to next card, but we're going to click conditional link if wrong, none, which means they'll stay on the page. All right, so we're going to put that one right here. And then our very last part is to grab our flashlight. Okay, so this time we're going to grab the flashlight that has the solid background. That's this one right here. All right, so you see how it's really crowded on this page. I'm actually going to do this on a separate page and then copy and paste it in. So I'm going to add a new page, and then I'm going to pull out that flashlight again with the solid background. Everything's solid. And then I'm going to change the rotation to, I think it was 44 that I needed. Yeah, perfect, right? And then you can change this little blue spacing like this. Okay, and we need this item to be draggable. So we're going to make it draggable. And then we're going to click on the little tail, Command C. Hopefully it works this time. Command V, it did. I don't know why the text box wasn't working. So we'll put this one like this. You notice right now there's a ton of extra blue space. I don't want that because I don't want someone grabbing on that part. So I'm going to size it as close as possible to the flashlight without changing the size drastically. So you'll notice right now, since this item is draggable, when someone tries to access the text box or access the navigation button, they're not going to be able to, right? Because it's layered on top, just like last time. So you will need to make your navigation button draggable as well. All right, so I'm going to move this down. And we're also going to make it draggable. Okay, now you cannot make a text box, or I'm sorry, a fill in the blank text box draggable. All right, so you might want to move that up a little bit more. Okay, or we can just make it a little smaller. It doesn't have to have all that space in it. So we'll move it up here. Let's say I want to align this with this message. So I'm going to click on the top message and then on my navigation button and then go to align and align vertical. All right, so it's going to align in the center of the first thing I clicked. So this one, I'm going to bring it out to about here. And I want to make sure that this text is on top. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on it and make sure that Z order it is at the very, very front. So let's go ahead and preview this. So we have type the secret message, and here's our draggable flashlight. We're going to move it over, and it does reveal the letters just like we want. All right, so let's go ahead and type in the incorrect answer. What's going on here? Okay, so it says whoops, and then we're going to type in I love you as the correct answer, and that was correct. All right, so I think our very last thing is to do our navigation buttons. So you see here, these are already pre-made. It saves you a lot of time. However, if for some reason you want to be able to layer something else on top of this one, you can do that, and here is how. We pulled out a caption pick. I'm going to delete the things from inside, okay? And then I'm going to change the border to nothing, all right? And then I'm going to pull out my image that is the blank heart, and I'm going to size it down. Click on the tab, Command-C, delete it. Click in the caption pick, Command-V, and I make it as large as I want. If I moved it over here, it is actually still in that container. You can test it out by moving it, but we're going to put it in the container. There's no reason for it to be out right now. All right, then whatever image we want to go on top, this could be an image, like a different image, or it could be a text. It's going to be exactly the same procedure, but let's grab the text. Let's say I wanted to do the Miss Kindergarten font instead of the other font I had on there. So we're going to type in, let's do, let's put the word love. Okay, so I'll put love on there, change the font, and I'm going to click on that tab, delete it, click not on the heart, but on the caption pick, do Command-V, and then I'm going to move this right on top, and I'm going to size it down a little bit because it's a little bit too large. And then I'm going to recenter it, okay? This allows you to put the text exactly where you want, and now you actually have an image that you can use as a draggable item if you want, or as a answer option or navigation button, okay? So if I wanted to make this a correct answer, I could hit correct. If I wanted to make it draggable, hit draggable. And if I wanted to make it a navigation button as well, I can link it to the next page, all right? So let's go ahead and move this. I don't know why it's draggable up here. Hold on. Something's going on. I don't know what's going on up here. But we'll make this one draggable. Draggable. That's interesting. Okay, there we go. So we have it correct. And let's link it to our very first page instead of next. So we're going to scroll up to the page that we want as our first page. And when we click on that in preview, it'll take us back to the very beginning of this tutorial. So let's go ahead and click on it. Ooh, it did not take us back. Let's see what happened. All right, so it must have been, let's see. Ah, yes, okay, so it did not link correctly. So we need to click on that tab and link to this one again. Link connected. Okay, it should work. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the video and see what happens. All right, so we click on it. Now it takes us back. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, that you find it really helpful, and that you really enjoy using this flashlight kit. Once again, you can find it over at TeacherPayTeacher. Just search Magic Flashlight, Valentine Hearts, or type in Play, Learn, Talk. It's one of my featured items right now. I will see you guys in the next tutorial.